Andy, good to see you here in Rome. Now we're a few months into the season. Can you just give me your appraisal of how you think your return is coming back after the surgery?
It's been a little bit patchy. I've played some good stuff and played some bad stuff. There hasn't been a sort of consistent level throughout the season. In some matches I felt good, and then the next day even not felt great. But the Australian Open went pretty well. I played fairly well there and had a good tournament over in Acapulco. Played some good tennis in Miami as well. That's where I started to feel like I was getting back to where I wanted to be. And yeah, this next month or the next 6 weeks really, with French Open and Wimbledon coming up, will give me a good idea exactly where I'm at.
Last time you came here to Rome, you were world number 2. So is it kind of frustrating that you've obviously it's been difficult to kind of get yourself back into those sort of positions of the rankings?
Well, when you miss 3 or 4 months of the year, it's also didn't play here and also the French Open, and then missed the last 3 months of the year. It's very, very hard to maintain a high ranking with the way that the rankings work in tennis. So that's not really something that's been frustrating for me. You know what's the goal at the start of the year was to get back fit and healthy again, and I'm getting there slowly, and then hopefully, like I said, by the French Open and Wimbledon is where I want to be playing my best tennis.
And obviously there's always a lot of talk about your coaching situation. How important is it for you to kind of get that sorted out?
Yeah, it's important, but you also need to get the right person. It's very easy just to call up anyone and say, do you want to come and work with me? And after a month it might not be the right fit. I want to get the right person in place who's going to be there for a few years at least. And yeah, that's what takes the time, because not everyone's willing to commit the amount of time that's required. And yeah, it just takes a bit of time. So hopefully I'll get the right person.
When you say the right person, you're reducing the number on your long list. Let's say is there 1 or 2 things in particular, other than that long-term commitment, that you think someone can bring to your career going forward?
Well, I think the ex-players, the ones that are exciting are players that got the most out of their game, that achieved kind of their potential, so they got as much out of their game as they could, or also the guys that have won slams. That's also something that's attractive to it, because that's ultimately where I would like to be in the major tournaments. I want to try to get to latter stages, and having someone that's been there can definitely help with your mentality going into those events. But it's also about finding the right character as well. You want someone that's not going to be getting angry and upset, or missing home, or sometimes people that have families don't want to travel more than a couple of weeks in a row. So it's hard to find the right fit.
And looking back to Rome here, obviously the draw, the tennis gods have put you against the same opponents last year. Does it bring back bad memories, or is it more of an opportunity to kind of get some closure on that period?
To be honest, I don't really think that much about it. It wasn't something I thought about for a long time, but yeah, it'll be interesting playing against Marcel again. I haven't played him since here last year, and it was a tough match for me, a tough period of the year last year. But yeah, I managed to come out of it pretty well during the grass court season. But yeah, hopefully I can have a good match here. It's important for me to try and get a few matches if I can, and set myself up well for the French Open.